The only thing we have, for sure, is right now. We can spend a lot of time rolling the tapes backward or forward, anticipating, having anxiety about the future, or having shame and regret and all kinds of feelings about the past. But the truth is, the past doesn't exist. There is just now. And this isn't some original thought. I'm not coming up with this deep thoughts by Jack Handy thing in the middle of the night here because I've had a realization, but I'm just simply repeating what we all need to be constantly reminded of, that we think we have time. We most certainly don't. There's a fortress around the part of us that wants to be vulnerable and trust and be open and loving. It's been sort of blood-caked and buttressed and protected, and there's so much to it, so many layers. But I'm saying the only real way to move through all these obstacles we each face is to take that down. Remove the fortress, remove the barriers, take off the masks. We can't carry this armor. It doesn't work. It's too heavy. I used to keep a prison log. I would hold everyone's feet over the fire if they disappointed me or if someone didn't meet expectations. How ridiculous. How heavy, how pompous, how presumptuous, how hypocritical. And I'm not here to talk about that part of me that was and still does need taming and practice. But I want to say we have in each of us the capability of being the monster or the glimmering hero, if you will. I don't know what the opposite of monster would be, I guess angel. But, there's an awful lot of gray area in between, and that's where we all fall. Not being a mind reader myself, I'm not going to make any presumptions about what anybody else thinks. But I can share that the humbling aspect of a disease like Parkinson's, incurable, progressive, hardly manageable, mercurial, stunning, unpredictable, keeps me humble. It keeps me in the moment. It forces me by just holding my face down in it. It forces me to focus on humanity and compassion, or relatability, if you will. I don't have a choice. I can't carry the armor and the prison keys. They're too heavy. I can't spend time fixing that door and making sure that nobody gets out. I had to blow the prison doors off and let go of whatever grudges, feelings, stories I carried. There's something about this participation, this active participation in forgiveness and in acceptance that really makes you feel free finally. This isn't easy, and it isn't just something where you snap your fingers and go, hey, as Cheryl Strayed so eloquently put it, we will have to do this again and again and again. Acceptance is a small, quiet room, she said. She's been someone who has influenced my work, certainly, along with some of the spiritual teachers I follow, like Thich Nhat Hanh, Pema Chodron, Adyashanti. Many, many people have influenced. In fact, I was just talking about my neighbors who have a deficit of housing nearby, and I pass them every day, and I think of them. I know their names. I know who they are. I know where they sleep, because I don't think you have much privacy when you are without a home. I can't call them like the homeless. That sounds so degrading. Like, it's like saying the addicts, people who suffer from addiction, people who have a deficit of housing. The point is we're people. That's why we say people with Parkinson's or PWP rather than just the patients. Am I just a patient? Sure, maybe to some people. My doctors have to deal with an awful lot of personalities. They would be exhausted to have to herd cats in a way that was hyper-personal for each one, but they've done their best with my big personality. I admire the medical community, and I also feel like I've made some mistakes by following advice as well. But we're all human. We're all doing the best we can. I have to assume that most people, if not everyone, really does mean well. It's a good way to go through life, not necessarily expecting people to be good or mean well, but rather not expecting the worst of people. Also, on this morning, I've been reflecting on all the generous people in my life. I have a number of people to thank. I have so many thank you cards to write. I want to apologize publicly for anyone listening for not sending you a personalized note. I have a lot of trouble writing. I know this sounds like the dog ate my homework excuse, because I could always give you a voicemail or something. But I love a good handwritten note, and I've been trying to work on that, and it's just not going to happen. So I'm going to have to let that go and say to you how grateful I am by calling you. In fact, I don't really do email anymore. So if you're trying to reach out by email, please understand I can't email very well. It's going to come out incomprehensible. As one of my exes so eloquently put it, it was incomprehensible blabber dribble. Yeah, that's what you get when you email, because I can't keep up with it. I don't have an assistant who's nearby to go through it for me. When I did have an assistant, I paid her an awful lot. There's a lot of demand for immediate payment because that person was working pretty hard for me. And, they are definitely appreciated. But it doesn't last long because most people go on to bigger, better, more stabilized jobs where they have more than just a day a week to hang out and deal with my, little website. So I've got a lot of updating to do, including the Parkinson's Foundation event in Los Angeles called Personality Clash, where I was astounded to realize that the gift was not my speaking. The gift was not my participation or anything to do with me. The gift was the presence, the posthumous presence, I dare say, of Ali, who is Safi's father. What an incredibly remarkable human being. What an extraordinary legacy. To meet his grandchildren, his children, his brother, his nieces and nephews. I mean, he was so generous in his collaboration at the end of his life with Safi, who's an artist. You can follow her on Flashbulb Floozy. That's right, Flashbulb Floozy. Her portraits and her pictures are technically brilliant, and they stand alone, each piece. But when you go to the Personality Crash exhibit and you walk through it with the headphones on, you cannot remain the same. If you really spend time with these images, I don't think I can ever be the same person. What a beautifully transformative experience to see caregiving and being a carer as a gift of time with a loved one. The tenderness, the gentleness, the perseverance that family showed in caring for their father is unlike anything I've ever witnessed, up close and personal, and I was honored to be there. Thank you again to the Parkinson's Foundation and the National Endowment for the Arts. I'll post that video on YouTube under Kathleen Kiddo. Please look for it. and definitely listen to what Safi has to say. And my friend Miguel was there, an extraordinary writer. He makes me wonder why I bother to write. When he reads his pieces to me, I'm left just the jaw just drops open, like, why do I even bother? He gets so close to the bone, so close to the truth, the essence, the root. Oh, I envy writers who can do that. So great. And back to acceptance, I think it's kind of like the baby steps to the elevator thing, where if you want to do something like write or whatever it is, just baby steps. Yesterday, I crawled through the day. I could barely walk. I finally came on my meds around 10:30 at night, all dressed up, nowhere to go. Fell asleep with all my clothes on, in my bed, sweating through the night of the few hours I did sleep, and woke laughing because I couldn't believe how ridiculous one can look in a strange hat, a wig, and dressy clothes, which you wore to make your son and his girlfriend laugh. And it was so worth it. I had an eye, a fake eyelash on, like a Clockwork Orange, because I only had one of them that I found in the bottom of my bag. And so I had it upside down like a Clockwork Orange, and that's kind of how I woke up, looking like a droog from the Stanley Kubrick film. And there's nothing better than laughing at yourself. We are all so ridiculous. Look at us. Just look at us. I'm walking around this space that I call home and seeing all the little things I've gathered for sentimental reasons. Most of them have to do with people from these rooms who send me things. Just little things. There's a helicopter here in case I need a ride away from Parkinson's. There's a patch that says, just keep it up. Keep on keeping on. There's another t-shirt, Puck Parkinson's, that was sent to me. Hashtag Parkinson's looks like me. All the beautiful things people have sent. Pictures, paintings. This is from one friend here. I'm looking at it right now. God, this is great. It's a picture of David Lynch. It says, new mysteries, new day, fresh donuts. And on that note, I hope you get some great donuts today, whatever that means for you. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames. Rumi, thank you for the quotes. Thank you for this day, and thank you for being you. Until next time.